And go ahead and start. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, the leader of Collaborating Connections, and I want to welcome all of you tonight to our weekly professional networking Zoom meeting. We're usually meeting on Tuesday nights. However, I was out of town this week and the group accommodated and said that they'd be okay with meeting Thursday nights. So it is nice to see everybody. We are in the last week, the last days of September. And September's theme is our 60-second elevator pitch. So we're going to talk a little later about the elevator pitches, but as well, like we always do every week, we're going to do a round table introductions of those who are on the call, just so you get an idea to hear that elevator pitch, who we are, what we do, what we love, and who we're looking to be connected with. So that's what Collaborating Connections is all about. We are part of the larger TTR Networking group that is over 11 years old in existence. TTR Networking has been around with several satellite networking groups under the umbrella that all meet on different days and times throughout the week, and some virtually, some in person. We have been, Collaborating Connections has been virtual since the pandemic, and we are really enjoying it. It allows us the opportunity to meet some wonderful professionals, not only here in central Indiana, where most of us are located, but the Zoom call gives us the opportunity to meet individuals across the nation, coast to coast, and around the world. We've had some visitors from Canada, the UK, the Netherlands, a little bit of everywhere. So, and we welcome businesses to come meet us and join us and chat with us at any time. We are generally a industry exclusive group, but we are considering tweaking that a little bit as it allows, as our membership allows. So with the industry exclusivity, what we've experienced in the past is there's only one individual from each industry that is allowed to be a member of each, within a group. I'm the only travel agent within Collaborating Connections. In that vein, anybody who's interested in working with a travel agent doesn't have to decide amongst many, but if I'm the only one, then I am generally that travel agent that members are referring and talking about or helping to drive business to, and vice versa. As we progress, and certainly what I want to talk to our membership about today is perhaps opening up a little bit. And if you are in an industry where you have a circle of cohorts who may be interested in the networking experience as well, and you may have a niche market and they may have a different niche market, and you would be happy to work side by side with a professional in your same industry, please let us know. And we are considering opening ourselves up to multi-members within an industry, as long as that seems to make sense. So something to think about, food for thought for each of our members and for individuals who may be interested in joining as well. Of course, those who would love to stay industry exclusive, and if you are already a member of the group and want that exclusivity, we will grandfather that for you and keep that your secure spot. So with that being said, I want to ask really quickly, are there any questions or concerns about that tweak, that change that we're considering within Collaborating Connections?
Is that just in ours, or is that in all of them?
Well, it would be, we're talking about it across the industries, guys, but I still think the groups that are, I'm sorry, across the groups, what did I say? All the groups, every group's kind of going to look at it themselves. What we're finding is we're getting a lot of people that want to be members, but they tend to overlap our industries. Now, Nancy, we get very few of you. Okay. And I just mean that, I mean that positively. And honestly, Robert, we get very few of you. It's usually the insurance, real estate, mortgage people. We do get people, but I'll tell you, some of our mortgage people, don't have the experience. And I would also say, and the insurance, the health insurance, both, it has to, like Dawn said, it has to make sense to the group. And it definitely has to make sense to you, I can't speak, you, Nancy, you, Robert. If you don't want somebody in the same industry, we would not do that. Honestly, we've had a couple groups where we've got a couple realtors. I don't know, Robert, you probably know, you probably have a lot of realtors in your sphere, but that maybe are struggling a lot right now. We're having that happen in a lot of our groups. It's been kind of a depressing week because a lot of them are really, one guy, I won't even tell you, he went to the point of telling us that he's now starting to do door dashing. Now, there's nothing wrong with I give him all the credit, but I didn't think he would ever admit that on a call with a bunch of networking people. But he said he was doing it. He actually said he made some money at it, but he is not somebody that I thought would ever be doing that. But he is saying the market is so slow right now. But anyway, the realtors in this one group, there's 2 realtors. No groups have 2 mortgage people. No groups have, actually, we're trying to get health insurance agents, Nancy. So that I doubt is going to happen to this group, where we'd have that double. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when you look at it overall, so you bring it on, we've been exclusivity for each lane we in. If you bring it on another person in the same group, which is not okay, it's not no issues, but you want to say, okay, what value is that other person going to bring to the group that makes sense? That would make more sense to bring that person on versus just adding them just to fill the void of just filling the void. You're filling up space slots, and before you know it, that you're now have the value that we offer. Now we are just devalue that is in a sense. So that's something. There's pros and cons to doing it. I do understand that, hey, so it could work, but I think if it do work, if I bring on someone that's in the same category, what value do I add that he or she brings that the current person in there do not offer, or can complement what we're doing as a group? Because that's what you want to find. So we keep the value good, the value add that we have stays true versus us devaluing it.
Right.
Just my 2 cents.
Right. Actually, Robert, no, that's a lot more than 2 cents. That's a great piece of, that's exactly the kind of stuff I would hope you would share. What I do want people to know is the groups that are already existing, like Dawn said, you can discuss it amongst yourselves and say, does this make sense? If somebody else, right now, I don't have another mortgage person asking, but I do know in one of our other groups, there was a mortgage person that visited, and there's already a mortgage person in there. The mortgage lady said that the original, she said, oh, I just look at it as more, more, not competition necessarily, but just, I can learn from this other person. Not all my group people think that, I don't know how you feel about that, Robert. Do you have how do you feel about that? Is there I guess what I'm thinking is if there's something that maybe you don't offer and that other person does, or vice versa,
Well,
does that make sense?
well, when you're looking at it in the field that I play in, is that if we bring another lender into in our space, so unless that person's got a unique product or unique skill sets that's going to offer something to the group, or that's something to the group that can do, and that's the only way you got to look at that from that perspective. Because I've been doing this over 25 years,
Right, I know.
and so I bring you a wealth of knowledge in each category, whether it be a conventional loan, FHA loan, VA loan, USDA loan, reverse mortgage loan, and then in the low to moderate income, where the playing field I'm in now. So, I play in those fields, so that's where I'm at, but I'm not opposed to someone coming on board, but also looking at, okay, from us over when you're looking at how do we add value? Because I've been to a lot of networking,
Right.
part of a lot of networking groups, and before you know it, you got a room, say it's 20 people. You got 20 people in there, and you got, of that 20, 30% is realtors,
Right.
another 20% are lenders, and the other, you say, okay, then I have a little mixed match of everybody else. And before you know it, so then you find yourself, okay, what value are we adding to this network group? Now we become playing like the other. What I like about us, the uniqueness of us all, is it's unique we have, and then and it allows exclusivity for each group to have that, to offer that shared experience among the group and create better partnerships
Right.
in there, and then have, so that for that group now has value to each other, and then now offer, and so when each group it has the value that we offer to itself. That's my take on it. Why? So because I've been a part of a lot of groups, a lot of networking organizations, and some you pay, some is free, cattle call. Just bring everybody in there and hope that somebody stick, or hope that something goes. Then that becomes more of a transactional networking group, not a value added networking group.
I think
Right.
us as a group, we've always been
that's-
in a position where we've had the opportunity to meet folks and, let them figure out if they like collaborating connections, if they resonate with our spirit of our group. And as well, we're thinking, does this individual who's visiting, can we perhaps share referrals? Do they offer something beneficial to contribute to the group? So that's always been the case. And that's going to continue to be the case going forward. Certainly the consideration isn't just to add folks for the sake of adding numbers to the membership.
No.
Again, I'm not assuming that, or that, but I'm just giving my opinion about when I look at it, and when I think it through, how what I see when I walk away from it, when I talk to in the group, when I talk outside the group, when I share the value of what we are, the uniqueness of it, and that's what set us apart. And I do understand, that, hey, change is sometimes has to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, but I just want to make sure that as we think about these changes that you're talking about, that we really think it through, and making sure that, hey, that we are considering all these lanes, and we're not, okay, it makes sense, but let's think it through, and kind of walk down those paths to make sure that if we make that decision, that we're really making the right decision to move us forward, not to take us backwards or to disrupt what we have. And because I know, and doing this is, I know for you, Jennifer, and you, Dawn, that's to support, this is a tough lift.
Yes, it is.
It's a tough lift. I'm not by no means I'm naive or sitting back and thinking whatever. it is a tough lift because each person's individually is here for a reason. And sometimes everything don't always line up like they want it, but it's almost like, and then you all being the leadership of this, want to make sure that everybody walk away with the value, what they really want to see. But then also, I have to push back on you guys and say, hey, we as members of the group, what are we doing to making sure that we get the value that is offered, that's on the table, and not assuming that you all have to do it all and work this magic wand and to put something in their bucket. So that's my pushback, that because I do understand the need when people are talking to you, people calling you one-on-one, saying things to you one-on-one. And again, you don't share those because that you should. But I'm just knowing how it is, that is a tough lift when you have those conversations. I call those tough conversations. You're trying to answer their question and you want not, but also we got to ask the person, okay, what are you doing with the tools that we have, and show me how you've been using them, to say that we are not doing our part for you to give you what you want, to get you what you need and get to there. And that's the pushback I have to give you guys for we feel that we got to somehow listen, because the noise can get really real because enough people talking about it, you think it's enough noise coming at you. It may seem like it's real, but I have to make you, I always say, use the pause for a moment and ask those key questions to those folks who are having those discussions with you, to make sure that they understand the value that you have on the table for them. Are you utilizing all those tools?
Sure.
And then ask them, and then ask for, hey, tell me how long you've been using them. Not just a flash in the pan, but how long you've been using it, because it takes time to get those things to work like you want if you're not using them. Just my 2 cents, so that's Robert's 2 cents, and I'll stop talking.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
Robert, can I just ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
You have a really, really neat backdrop there, but we can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know. I have some IT problem here. That's why I was like, man, this was it. And I learned it. I said, and I do apologize because I was meant to call my IT because I have a new laptop, and it's been a nightmare because my old laptop, when I came on board, then they gave me a laptop that was refurbished, and then it just wasn't. It was, if I unplug it and I was out somewhere in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, I have my laptop is dead as a doorknob. And I replaced my battery 3 times. I said, it's not the battery, it's just something else going on here. And so they gave me a new laptop and dropped everything in it. And so I think I did something, a Zoom, and it worked. And after that, it's not been working. So I got to call IT to figure out, hey, because I have checked all the settings, and I said, okay, there's something else going on here. Because it's showing the backdrop, but it's not showing me. And I see my lights on. I said, my lights on, but why? What happened here? So I'm like,
I just thought I'd throw that out there in case you didn't know, because
no, I knew it. I already knew. Like I said, my background's showing real well. It looks real good. I said, but man, it was not showing me, and I can see you guys.
Okay.
So I got to figure this out, and I don't know. I have checked all the settings and everything. I said, okay, well, something's on here. Maybe something happened. I don't know what it is. I got to figure that one out. So I do apologize.
It's pretty funny, but thank you, Robert, for all your information, because I would never do anything. This group has been around, and you guys, and Dawn does a great job. And I just want to make sure that you are getting what you came here for. So we would not change things up without, I would always ask Nancy, I would always ask you or Dawn or anybody else that's in this group before somebody else joined. And we would make sure that's the groups that are already established. I don't want to do anything to disrupt those, because the ones that are going are going well. This one, we obviously want to grow. But anyway, Dawn, you take it away. But I thank you for your information, or for your thoughts, Robert. That's very helpful.
My 2 cents.
I got to take the opportunity to say, hey, Stacy, I have missed you.
Hey, Stacy.
Stacy's
Hello,
back.
everyone.
How we doing?
Hello.
Tabitha is back in the house.
Yeah.
You guys are fun. There she is.
Just to fill you in quickly, Stacy, we were having a conversation while we were doing the general welcoming and introduction about our group. Something that we're considering going forward is we have always been an industry exclusive group. Not all of the TTR networking groups are, but that's what we chose from the beginning. We are considering a kind of hybrid of that going forward, in that if a current member is interested in sharing the seat, sharing the industry membership, if and particularly interesting to someone like myself or Stacy, who works in a team environment, that might be something that's desirable to be able to have another representative of the same industry, of the same company, working side by side. And perhaps, you know, each person has a different niche or just interested in sharing the wealth and gleaning the knowledge that is shared amongst groups. So it's really up to each member to make that decision if they are open to another individual of the same industry joining the group or not. They may have somebody in mind that they'd like to bring to the table, or we'll have those discussions as they go. But I just wanted to bring it up and let everybody know that as we are in a growth mode, that's something that's being considered, that's new and different for collaborating connections now, as we are in our 5th year as an organization under the TTR Networking umbrella. So what we usually do on a weekly basis, we kind of, after my initial spiel, I always love to ask Jennifer Johnson to give us the updates that are happening within TTR Networking. So Jennifer, can you take it away?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Dawn. And actually, I think you may be talking about an event that we're having, and so I won't steal your thunder or steal your whatever. It's kind of funny in a way, but not really funny. We've had some things that have had to be rescheduled, or postponed. One of them was the quarterly speed networking that we have quarterly. It should have happened last Monday, but I know a lot of you I know a lot of you knew that, but we were going to Ohio to celebrate my dad's life. He had died a week before that, but anyway, so instead of making myself insane, Nicole, who is we're not calling her an integrator anymore. We're calling her an executive assistant. But she said, Jennifer, what are you doing? You're too many things, because we were leaving on Monday afternoon for the whole thing. And then the whole week just kind of went out the window. But anyway, so that has been rescheduled, and it is on our website. It is out there. It's October 17th. October 17th. And that is a Monday. We do them on Mondays, because we have one meeting at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. And then, but the rest of the groups don't meet on Monday. So anyway, that is really pretty cool. If you are into speed networking, we do it just like we would do speed dating. Maybe a little different because you're talking about your business, but that is then. And then we had tomorrow, I was going to ask if Dawn was doing the same IT issues having the same IT issues that Robert has. It was kind of funny at the moment. I was thinking it was fun.
I have to go stir my dish. I'm cooking. I'm multitasking.
I don't even know about cooking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My thing to tell you though is tomorrow at noon, we had on our calendar family emergency planning with Deb Miller, which is free. Anybody can jump on. Now, her business is Ready Habits, and she helps people from everything from getting paperwork in order, if you're going to go to Medicare or something like that, stuff like that. Now, Nancy, you might correct me on exactly what the process is to get to Medicare, but Deb is not an insurance agent. She helps people get the paperwork in order, and then you turn to Nancy to help you get the actual Medicare supplement and all that. But anyway, Deb does stuff like that, but then she also is trained in wilderness training and all these kind of things. And she reached out to me the other day as they were looking at Hurricane Ian coming in. She was getting deployed to Florida to be part of the rescue. I mean, and I don't think she would mind me telling you, but I think she's 76 or 77. And this woman is part of a deployment team, whatever, going to do this. So we canceled. It'll be postponed. She'll do it, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. And I reached out to all the people who had signed up to let them know that we're postponing it. But then it turned out that they canceled her deployment. But I don't know. I have not listened to news today, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on that. But she said at any moment they could send her. So we have not rescheduled it, or we have not said, oh, we're going to do it. But it's just kind of, I don't want to say funny because it's a horrible situation, but it's kind of funny to think we have this lady that was going to discuss this and share her knowledge of family emergency planning. And here she's actually being deployed to go help with a natural disaster, But anyway, so that is the kind of stuff that we do, though. We do have, and it gets so busy this time of year as we get into, it's October. I mean, right? Saturday is October 1st. And if you're not thinking the holidays will be here. I know it sounds horrible, say that already, but the holidays will be here. Things just go so fast this time of year, but we always try to have, like our quarterly speed networking and all this. So we have some events coming up. I know that we'll get those postponements scheduled again, but, or the Deb's thing. And I know you have something else to share, Dawn, so I won't chat about that, but, we have themes of the month. So September's been our 62nd. We're going into October. I always have fun with October because it's out of the box marketing, and Dawn will probably talk about that next week. But there is no better time in my mind than right now to be out of the box marketing, because there are so many people in so many industries that are, the interest rates just went up, right, Robert? I mean, things are going crazy. You have to be very creative in your marketing. So hopefully we'll get, what I mean? You have to be really thinking outside the box right now. So anyway, we've got a lot of things coming up, and 2023 is only 3 months away. Unreal. So anyway, thank you, Dawn. I know that was quite a lengthy one, but I'm just glad to be back.
Really good stuff. Thank you.
Well,
I had intended to sign up for Deb's thing. I just didn't know if what my availability was going to be mid-May, and it looked like I was going to be able to attend. So I'm glad to hear, that I think when she does reschedule it, she's just going to have even, more of a wealth of actual experience to communicate to the group and just add that much more wonderful information to us. So,
and by the way, just in case you do, while I'm saying that, I don't know if Nancy or Robert, now Stacy, I'm sorry, because you're quite a distance, but we do have open networking tomorrow morning at the Haverstick, and it's at 8 a.m. That's our Westfield group. I kind of forgot that until you just said that. But and Deb was telling, because she's part of the Westfield group, she goes, I don't know if I'm going to make it to that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we understand, go do your, do the, the work that you've been put on the planet to do. Don't worry about it. But that is, that's one of those things. And we do have a lot of people that do, sign up at the last minute, but I'll tell you, Eventbrite is pretty particular. If I don't send an email through their system and cancel, or postpone, and you can actually, they will not let you just get rid of an event. So it should not be out there anymore. It should be something, or if it is, it says postponed. So I will, but anyway, just having
Okay,
said
Deb's
that,
thing is postponed, but the networking event at the Haverstick is a
it's
go.
on.
Okay,
Yeah,
and does that have a virtual component, or is it simply in person?
just in person.
Okay,
Just in person. That's kind of because they are really trying to grow that group. And we did it last month, and it was, we had somebody new that turned up, and it was like, oh, and I think they've got 8 or 9 people signed up tomorrow besides their members. So I'm
wonderful.
excited to see what happens there. Almost all of our groups, unless it's just an impossibility, almost all of our groups are ending up with one event, maybe a month or so, that's live. But the Zoom is so nice, especially when we have people like, Stacy and a number of others in our other groups that, we couldn't connect with if there was no virtual option. So thank you. But yeah, sorry, I almost forgot that one.
Oh,
But if
no,
anybody
that's awesome.
could join us, feel free to do that. But it's at 8 a.m. at the Haverstick. And I
Okay.
don't know if you know that, but it's not in Westfield. It's actually in Indianapolis, but it is what it is. So anyway, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. All righty. So from here, I think we're going to go ahead and start our roundtable introductions. It is 6:39 p.m. and I am going to invite Nancy Vesely. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I am. I'm Nancy Vesely, IHC Specialty Benefits, a local licensed health insurance agent, health insurance, supplemental insurance, dental, vision, small group plans, Medicare, and dog and cat insurance. Right now, we're waiting for October 1st when we can start seeing about Medicare. But the one thing we did learn is Part B, the government was charging seniors $170 a month. It dropping to $164.90 next year. What in the world is that about?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. it's like,
So every
wow.
little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Very cool. And who or what type of referrals are you looking for, Nancy?
Right now, I'd really like Medicare to concentrate on that. We do have Aflac these days, so if you need an accident plan that pays you, usually after you make a claim, like 5 days after. So if you can't work and you need money coming in, that would be one way to do it. File for your Aflac that you can do on their app. So that's what I'm looking for. Anybody 65 or older?
Awesome. Very good. And do you have any more of those informational sessions
Yes.
coming up you want to
Oh,
share?
yeah. I have the same 3. The Pets Life After You one is still there, and it's 1 day a month. And Nicole's doing a really nice job of posting my flyers. And then I have sprouting and microgreens on one night. And then the last one is foraging for your pet. So they just don't walk over to the bowl. They have to work for their food.
All right.
And there's a thing called, I forgot what the word is, contra freeloading. An animal would rather work for their food than walk over to a bowl to eat their food. Believe it, I said, there's no way, but yeah, it happens every day in my house.
How do your birds work for their food?
They usually have to dig it out. It's usually I put a lot in papers or in like little souffle cups, mush them up and throw them in toys. So they have to get them out of the toys for the treat or the pellet in some cases.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, or nuts. I mean, they have to open up nuts themselves, the tree nuts. So, yeah, they work too.
Very good.
Maybe I should work for my
Is
food.
our resident animal lover, and thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.
Any questions for Nancy and HSC Insurance?
Nancy, if we know people, can you just in a real quick synopsis, what is the open enrollment or what's the annual enrollment? I guess is what it's called, right? Annual.
Annual enrollments, you can start signing up after October 15th to December 7th. And if you know anybody that's interested, they have to call me. You can't send me their number and I call them. That's not allowed. So they have to call me. And what it is, it's for their plan for next year that starts January 1st, 2023.
And people really, really, truly need to talk to somebody like Nancy or absolutely Nancy to get the information. Because I mean, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure Nancy, you probably hear it a lot, even after you're, even after you're like, you've been telling everybody they're supposed to do this. All these people that didn't know you did it or something, but that when they're telling you that they, you know, they didn't know I had options, or I never sat down with somebody or whatever, you're like, I mean, it always used to blow my mind, the people that, you know, didn't know. Anyway, I would just say, if you know somebody who's in that age range or anybody that's out there struggling, do you think a lot of people don't do it, Nancy, just because they don't
Yes.
want to, or do you think they know
They
and
just,
they don't know?
whatever they had last year, they just run with it. That's what I see a lot of it. They don't know anybody that they're comfortable talking to, so they don't talk to anybody. So what happens is that whatever they had last year just rolls over for another year. And it happens for year after year. I found interesting the union, GM union,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
they have everybody on a Medicare Advantage plan, and they tell them that if they change, that could affect their benefits. So nobody wants to change because they had that put into their mind that it could affect their
Yeah.
benefits if they change their insurance, because it was what the union sent them to begin with when they retired
Is
them out.
that?
Two different people, same subject. They're both out of GM.
Hmm,
I don't think it makes no sense. It doesn't sound kosher, but,
right.
and maybe that's the way
But
they
what you,
took it. I don't know.
right. But what you do, Nancy, doesn't cost them anything. I mean, you get paid by the provider that
Right.
actually, and certainly you're going to look at you, but you're gonna, I know you, I know other people who are part of our network that do what you do. It makes no sense to refer somebody or to suggest that somebody get something, you know, something that doesn't make sense for them.
Right.
So I know you're going to sit down and do it just like Robert would, just like or just like Dawn would, if they're, you know, Stacy would or whatever. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, you know, I mean, I think it's, you do get paid, but you get paid by the provider, but you have to go through and make sure. I mean, I guess what I'm always blown away is like, do these people not realize, and maybe they don't realize, but plans change
Yeah.
year by year. So there might be something that this year, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm saying something wrong here, Nancy, but I mean, literally 1 year, a prescription could be covered by a plan. Next year it couldn't, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that?
that's a big one right there. Yep. Items
Yeah.
fall off, or sometimes though they can get around with if they talk to their doctor and go to another generic of the same plan, because Humalog and Novolog are interchangeable. So if one isn't covered by your insurance, you go to the other one. Or you end up just paying a lot and thinking that's the way everybody else is because you don't have
Right.
anyone to call.
Right.
Because
Right.
a lot of people don't even call the insurance company and say anything about it. You know, that's where you get the people that stop doing their drugs because they can't afford them. So they like cut them in half or do them every other day. That's
Yes.
where that stuff comes from.
Gosh, yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna quit talking, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I always think from my experience in the insurance. I mean, things change. I mean, every year a plan changes and you can go in literally, I know maybe Robert and Don know this, but I mean, you can literally go in, Nancy can put the prescriptions in that somebody takes and it'll come up with the best plan, right?
Right.
But
Yep.
they might be able to do it on their own, but why do that if they can get somebody like Nancy to help? But they just, yeah, they need, and they do make it kind of difficult when Nancy can't call them. So you have to have them call Nancy. But it's definitely a way to protect the beneficiary or the Medicare client.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll leave it at that, but I just get very passionate about that because I'm like, oh, there's so many people out there that don't know what they're supposed to do. And it's literally, what is it? It's October, November, and then it ends on December 7th.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure I had that. Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Cool.
Nancy, quick question. I guess,
Yeah.
now I know you say you can't call people that people refer, so you can't make so you can't call anybody unless they gave you permission to call them, give them that you have permission to call them.
Right. They either have to call me or there's forms that, like if I'm at St. Vincent's one day a week and I have a form they can fill out that gives me permission to call them, then I can call them. But I
So-
can't just, my neighbor that I know is on Social Security, I can't call them. I can't walk up to them and ask them, hey, what's happening with your Medicare? But what I can do is wear a button that says, ask me about Medicare. And if they ask me, then we can get into it.
So now have you been doing workshops?
I've done, yeah, we attempted workshops and then we attempted 3 workshops. I have another one at Hamilton County Senior Center tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to get some there.
Uh-huh.
But
So now,
yeah.
like the people that you spoke with, that you talked with last year, although you can call them,
once they're you can, if,
you are allowed to send them like a postcard,
right.
invite them out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Or
that, I
people
mean, because I
that
think that, yeah.
People that I talked to last year, I can call because I have their permission already, because they're a quote client, even if they didn't buy anything, they're a client. So
Yeah, because I
can
think
call those.
in your field of work, I mean, because I see it. I went to my wife is turning. She's still working, but she's had to go just wanted to get information about if she does, what kind of Medicare she may need to do, if anything at all. But right now, she's not going to do anything because she's still working. But because my wife we get a ton of mail from people who's getting a ton of mail. Like it was like somebody opened a floodgate for her name. But as I'm sitting there, because I'm, again, I'm a salesperson, so I'm sitting there listening because I'm sitting on the side of the pen. I said, this work should start way before enrollment, anything. Is really trying to get to know them, and that's getting them out, getting them to come out, get them to come talk. Even the ones you have people that get them out so to get the understanding of education about the different plans. Say, I'm not trying to show you anything. I want to educate you about the different plans and help you to be more informed. So this lady, she did some things I thought was pretty neat. But I said, she's pretty clear. Hey, I'm not trying to show you anything. I just want to educate you. It's free, not trying to get you to do anything, trying to sign up for anything. I want you to make you aware of all your options. And I think that's be up until the enrollment times, getting people to comfortable with you. Because once they trust you, then you have a better chance of moving them over to the other side of the coin for you. And that seemed to be or those who are newly trying to sign up. And I think your biggest bang for your buck is the people that you have already talked to.
Yes.
So,
is your wife employed by employer with over 20 employees?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because there's another one that we were aiming for, was if you are working for an employer with 20 or less employees, you
Mhm.
do not have what they call credible coverage.
Mhm.
So you could stay on their coverage, but when you decide to retire, you'll get penalized for not having credible coverage, which is
Yeah, they got
10% a year for Part B. And it also hits in Part D, it's a 1% a month.
yeah, they have 5,000 employees, so they
Okay.
got quite a few
A
people.
big company, yeah.
So she's a manager there, and so she's been kind of teetering on. I want to retire. I don't want to retire. I want to retire. I said, hey, I said whatever. I said go get informed. Period.
That's it.
That's the key point. I said go get informed. She won't do it, and she want me to do it. I said I'm not retiring. I'm too young. So I want me to do all the work. So, but I'd say hey, I'm trying to let her do this work. So before I get into it. So, but I know enough to be dangerous, but I try to stay in my lane.
There you go.
Speaking of dangerous, Robert, your head is floating upside down, coming in and out.
Okay. So I did something. So I got to play with these settings some more. I'm in and out, upside down. So okay.
You know what?
So I'm moving around. I'm moving in the right direction.
That's kind of the
kept
story of my life, Robert. It's upside down, in and out, whatever.
in and out. Yeah, that's our life. Sometimes toss you up. We think we in Florida in the hurricane right now.
Oh, no kidding. But it is kind of,
Yeah,
it's entertaining, Robert. Thank you. I needed that.
Hey, I try to please.
I knew you were going to say that. Crazy man. All right.
Oh,
Hey,
okay, well, Robert,
today,
are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
for sure. I love it. Robert Hailey with Old National Bank. I'm a community development mortgage banker, really helping to the low to moderate income folks become homeowners, really focusing on those folks to help them to be homeowners. I always tell people, if you're paying rent, you're working for, been at a job for 2 years, why not be a homeowner? Let me show you how to make that happen. Let me show you how to get housing wealth to change the life for you and your family. Call me up, 317-201-4602 or 317-542-9021. Give me a call.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Any questions for Robert Hailey with Old National Bank? Robert, I'm kind of wondering, I think I've heard a lot of renters talking about this big jump and this increase in rents, not only across our state, but across the nation. So
Right.
has that helped increase the interest, I'd say, even though we're in a period of higher interest rates, are people interested in still becoming homeowners and stopping that rental waste?
Yeah, people are still interested in being homeowners, just that the problem you have with the folks that actually trying to move forward is some of them, they want to move forward, be a homeowner in their mind, but have not done the work. And that keeps them in that renting situation, or they don't have enough income to resolve some of the negative things they have, or they don't have money to get them started. But most importantly, overall, all of that is lack of education. And so what we have on my side of the fence, we have a financial person that who's community financial person. He and I met on Monday, and because I really want to start doing homeowners first time home buyer workshops, and make it a regular monthly meeting on the east side of town where I'm housed, and I gotta make the biggest impact. But it can be for anyone to come, but really have it on a regular basis, and so folks can get used to getting information, how they can be changing their mindset, but most important information, how they can become a homeowner. And I have money to help them be homeowners. So but getting people to first not hear but listen, not talk to each other, not to their buddies and friends and all that, not go run to a realtor and trying to get them to sell them. I said, why would you go to a realtor? The realtor don't have money to help you with that. They can only show you a house. They won't show you a house. They don't, but you got to come see me first. And so you're putting the cart before the horse. I said, the horse is me. We're going to pull you to where you need to go. And that was my wife's sister passed away, and the funeral was yesterday. Yesterday, and we had the repast at my niece's house on the far east side, and it was on the east side right there on Mid-Hartford, just south of Washington Street. They're building new homes over there, Arbor Homes. You know about that?
That's my neighborhood practically.
That's your neighborhood back there.
Yeah.
They building new homes back there, and the starting price is 200,000. I said, and that fits 200 to 250 fits in my wheelhouse for the low to moderate income person, which is, I was like, so I'm trying to I really want people to be homeowners. I really, really, really do. And I want to help people get there and just getting enough. I will say, so instead of me going to talking with realtors and all that, I'm trying to create my own space of people to educate them, to get them ready, and to be able to bring a realtor in the picture once they're ready. And versus realtor bringing me people that's really not ready, but trying to make a round peg fit into a square hole. And sometimes it doesn't work. I can't shave off enough stuff to make it work. But so really that's the key point there. And one of the things that today we had is on my company, we had volunteer day yesterday and today. And today I was down at Dress for Success. Have you guys been there before?
Mm-hmm.
At place, the not-for-profit, helping ladies become get themselves together they do resumes. It's a diamond that no one knows about. Some people don't know about it, but it's a phenomenal place. You walk in there, it's set up better than some of your retail stores. And so they do a phenomenal job with the ladies, but also they do resume writing, interviewing sessions, all that, plus dress them for the jobs. That means from if you are working at McDonald's or you're working be the next administrative CEO secretary, admin, they can dress you from A to Z. And working, so I was like, wow, I'd never been there, and I just learned a lot from them, and I thought it was fantastic. So I'll stop talking.
Oh, thank you so much, Robert.
So Robert, how are you going to market that to get first-time owners in there?
Well, it's going to one. A lot of my non-for-profit people out there has like the Dress for Success people who's in those wheelhouse, and then some of those some organizations, and as well as we will be able to do flyers because and I'm able to send flyers out through through LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as through all my non-for-profit organizations, which have quite a few out there that touch on a lot of the first-time home buyers, single moms, and low to moderate income people. So it's a pool I can pull from, but I wanted the biggest piece is setting that up and having the right location, so people can see, hey, every month on this or 15th of the month that we have in this class at this time for an hour. We're not going to be, we're going to be straight to the point. And then those who want more can talk, talk online. But the class is so important. And we really want to set that up where people can come and get informed, a lot of information, and then help them to navigate the course and navigate what they're trying to do, and set them have a resource to help them out. Because it's a lot of information coming people. Everybody tell them a bunch of stuff. They get it from all the wrong sources, and none of it is right. And they end up spending their money for things that they shouldn't be spending it on, and showing them how to do it versus and understand how credit works. The biggest piece is telling you how credit really works, and helping them to save some money, how to show, and really changing the mindset. That's the key, changing the mindset.
Cool.
So Jennifer, we got another collaborative partner.
Another collaborator.
Hey, look at them, starting them young. That's how we get them. Start them young. Start them
You
young.
have
Get
to-
'em-
Guys, you have to start them young. This is Scarlett. Scarlett, can you look at the,
Scarlett.
this is Scarlett. She was sleeping, but I think she's hungry now. But mommy's back, so hopefully mommy will feed her. But yeah, I keep telling people I got a new assistant. Here she is.
Hey,
Oh,
she's
no,
like,
that
hey.
didn't mean that. I didn't get rid of Nicole, I promise.
Hey, well, you know, you got to get them young. No, that's how you teach them. You know, train them young.
Yeah,
So I am not mad at you. She gonna, you know, she's gonna shadow Nicole for a while and Dawn, shadow Nicole and Dawn, so she better take over.
Yes, she's hungry. She's looking at mom who's making her food. She
Oh,
doesn't really have time for us now because she's hungry. But she's a really good little girl. This is kind of crazy because things are all over the place but luckily she's not older than she is. I think they could have that much more on their plate if she were crawling all over. So they'll get into their new house and then she'll learn how to crawl, right? Yep. She's only 3 months, so she's doing pretty well. But
Look like she's
from that angle,
she's getting strong. Look like she said, "Hey, I'm ready to go move." She said, "Give her a moment. She's
yep,
gonna be moving around, moving out."
she has chubby cheeks. She has a chubby cheeks, but she's not really. I don't know how she's in the big. Yeah, she's fine. She's looking at the bottle though. She wants it. Okay, I'll take it. I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna be feeding my assistant.
okay.
Hey, we understand. You know,
Okay.
she works for food. We won't call the
Alrighty.
child labor law on you now.
Just something that I wanted to share with Robert. I know Nancy and I have talked in the past about communicating and sharing what we do out on those neighborhood apps. And Robert, when you mentioned the particular neighborhood on the east side that is starting to build and whatever, I think that, that might be a good opportunity for you.
Can you
as
repeat that,
well.
Don? Because you were frozen. We didn't hear you. Let's repeat that.
There's a neighborhood app.
Okay.
And that might be a good opportunity while you're targeting education and programs, lending programs for the low and mod income, that you utilize the neighborhood app to advertise, your informational sessions, as well as, just your services and what you do.
Do you have to pay for advertising on there? Do you not?
If you just post, if you just make a post, that's not considered advertising. You can do an ad or you can just post, kind of like Facebook. You can just make a post to talk about what you're doing, or you can create an ad that you want them to kind of push out. So I think that option is available.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. That's true. Because it really is, and that's the key for me. And I said, well, TikTok, the touch, and then the files, these clients are not vanilla files. So just a matter, it's really working them through and showing if they're willing to put the work in, I can make it happen.
Cool.
And that's the key. So, and that's really, so,
Awesome.
and trying to help. But thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. While Jennifer's feeding her young assistant, I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and while I'm the leader of Collaborating Connections and a part of Jennifer's executive board for TTR Networking, my company is Spa Travel, and we are all about relaxed adventure. So I love helping individuals plan and book their trips, as well as remain an advocate for them to communicate with their vendors, maybe add some excursions and tours, or, figure things out when things don't go quite right. People spend a whole lot of time scouring the internet, trying to find a great deal, trying to find a travel insurance vendor that they can trust, trying to find the little fun things that are happening in the destination that they choose. And I would love to help them, give them back their time and utilize my skills and connections with vendors across the United States and around the world. So whether you're interested in just getting away for a weekend, whether it's car rental, hotel reservations, an all-inclusive trip, a cruise, destination rail, whatever you might be interested in, I would love to help. So again, my name is Dawn Evans Casey and my company is Spa Travel. And you can check me out on Facebook as well as email me through spatravel911@gmail.com. Thank you so much. All righty. Are there any questions that I might be able to help anybody with related to travel?
Did you have any airplane issues when you were on your trip over the weekend or not?
I had a delay coming back last night, and I actually got home probably about 2 o'clock this morning. I was
Ooh.
supposed to get home just after midnight, so it was well over an hour in the flight delay. But
Wow.
the staff at the boarding desk, lining us up, getting us through once the late plane had arrived, got that plane cleaned up and got us out, as quickly as possible. They were very efficient, and very helpful. I can't, I know that there are really good people working for these airlines that are conscientious and still trying to make travel a wonderful experience for all. So no complaints at all. I actually traveled to San Francisco. I rode the BART, which is their rail. I rode the bus. I got around. I did a lot of walking. The hotels were fabulous. The neighborhoods were fabulous. I had a great time just overall. So if anybody needs a break in this fall season or want to start planning for the holidays or early next year, I would be so happy to help. I know the travel industry is making its best attempts to get back to what it was prior to the pandemic, and still provide the best of service in a healthy and safe manner. So that's all I want to share. All righty.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to you, Don. I have two things that I'm trying to that I'm contemplating. One is my buddy's a buddy trip. He and I,
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna go. I think Arizona because it's easy, easy place. And then I was trying to also go to my wife, a trip with the wife, to the Caribbean, something like that. But I don't, I just know when does the hurricane season kind of peak down somewhat?
After mid-November, it's gonna calm down, but anywhere, late August through November, you're taking your chances.
Yeah, I know because each time every time I take to go over there, I kind of go really January before after the died down and go to the places there. But I want to talk to you and see, kind of get some options and see what my options are. And
Sure.
so we'll
Great.
definitely
I'd
reach out.
love to talk to you. So
Yeah.
we'll figure out a time that's good for us.
Sure.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
I have heard a little bit about some damages in Florida, and I know that based upon the the storms that are going through there, that people were traveling earlier to their destinations if they had something planned. They were trying to travel earlier this week, which sounds like a good idea. But I haven't had any travel clients call me for rebooking or problems or issues at this time. So certainly our thoughts and prayers are with those who are facing some devastation from those storms. And, nature can be brutal sometimes, but I hope the best for them. Okay. Hey, Jennifer, do you want to give us an update on what's going on with you and introduce yourself and your business? Or yeah, you're muted.
I didn't want you to hear the baby sloshing her food all over. She's kind of a messy eater too, but she's very happy when she gets her food. But anyway, Jennifer Johnson, I'm a relationship marketing coach. I'm also the founder of Crazy TTR Networking. And yes, Dawn, I'm very, very happy you're part of my executive board. Thank you for doing that. Basically, I mean, I've alluded to it a little bit, but there is no better time than talking about relationship marketing right now. Honestly, we go into October, and that is our theme, is out of the box marketing. But I've been on a couple calls this week where people are talking about, what do I do? Robert doesn't seem to be as negative as some of my mortgage people have been. So I know I'm going to quit talking. Yeah, I'm going to put the bottle in your mouth. But the idea that, if ever there's a time that you need to be reaching out to, really nurture your client base, it's now. Clients, spheres of influence, anybody that, is in your orbit. This is a time, especially if you're in those industries. Anyway, just I can help you with that. So it's all about acting on those promptings, appreciating your clients, and then you're going to attract what you put out there. Now, if you do it just to build, just to get more referrals, but we know that what we focus on multiplies. What we spend time, if you're going to be negative, what's going to happen? More negativity is going to come into your life. The same thing works if you're going to be positive. So that's what I do, though, with the networking groups. That definitely helps keep you top of mind. And, the more questions we all ask each other during our meetings, all that kind of stuff clarifies, educates us all on what the others can do. I get very passionate about the insurance industry because that's where I came from for many years. And I know I give a lot of our insurance people a little bit of trouble sometimes because I don't, I know they know I didn't love it, but they are good people and you need to work with good people. All of our members are good people, but that is what it's about, getting together every week, keep staying top of mind, and, knowing that you can trust your other members, definitely, that they are going to share with you only the best things that they can bring you. And it's not motivated by money. It's motivated by building good, strong relationships. So we're just glad, who do you know out there that is kind of flailing around, not sure what to do, a new business owner, or maybe it's somebody who's been in the industry, in their industry for a long time, they're burned out. TTRs, I do believe TTR and what we do as an organization, what I try to do is really give them the tools to be top of mind and to really build that network of people that know, and they know, like, and trust you. So that is what I do. I also happen to sing professionally, and it's been actually pretty good lately. So Dawn and we were talking about that earlier, but anyway, I am Jennifer Johnson. This is my little assistant, Scarlett. But
Super.
anyway, thank you. I can't hear you guys. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Jennifer. Does anyone have any questions for Jennifer Johnson and relationship building and TTR networking or her singing biz? Anything?
My
I have a
singing
question on your people going into your Ignite.
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you have going in for that? I'm assuming you're getting people.
Yes. Well, we had a group. Our first group was there were a couple people that were new to networking who had been referred, and then there were a couple of our members that went back through it. So, and it's only a 4-week class. I mean, it's only a 4-week meeting. You know, we're kind of digging into why do you do what you do, you know, getting really specific, kind of like we've been doing on the 60-second, you know, really getting down to the why, and then sharing your, you know, sharing a story. It's your story, or maybe a story of how you helped somebody, that kind of stuff, but kind of getting excited again about why you do what you do. Now, if somebody's brand new, they might not even know why they do what they do. They might not have ever really thought about it. You know, it basically boils down to, I think for most of our members, it's to help somebody or make their world better. And Nancy, I'll always remember you saying success to you is leaving people better than you found them. I think you told me that when we were in the Success Connect a couple of years ago. And I think if people have that mentality, they, you know, they go out and they do what's right instead of what's going to put money in their wallet necessarily. I mean, you hope they're going to do both, right? That it's going to be the best and it's going to turn into money as well. But that's the Ignite program, I think, has a lot of possibilities that we haven't even explored. And I get really excited about that because I don't know. I don't know why anybody would spend their life doing things they don't like doing. So I don't want to turn anybody, you know, into a negative person about what they're doing. But if it opens somebody's eyes and they say, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore, you know, then I guess that's part of the mission too, if that makes sense. But it's really
So I'm
meant to
wondering,
give people. Go ahead.
Are you getting the new people just opening up their business in there or not?
Not as much as people who are more like our first group was a lady who was referred to us by Laura Jones, who is do you know who Laura is?
Yeah.
Okay. So Laura referred one of her fellow mobile closers. And then she never really thought about networking really. She has 8 kids. She never really thought about it. And then there was the other lady was she was a mortgage lady up in South Bend or something, but it had a really bad year last year. And, you know, it was really a year, probably Robert would probably say it was a year that everybody should have done well, but she had a couple of bad things that really screwed, and she was trying to figure out, what do I need to do to repair these relationships? She had some assistants and stuff that didn't do the job they were hired for. And so then it looks like she did it anyway. So she was trying to kind of like, how do I get that going? And then we had about 3 or 4 people that were already TTR members who were just looking for something to open, just to kind of give them a new perspective and set some new goals and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that we figure out, the Ignite is really new, obviously. So I really want to kind of get a little more honed in on what the actual, you know, where we're going to market it and stuff. But if you have suggestions, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just looking for marketing ideas because that's what it comes down to. And what do you
Really,
use?
really does. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
'cause
would think next door would be a really good place to put a couple things on Ignite, because those are the
Yeah.
people that hate their job, but they don't have an alternative. They got to pay the bills.
Yes, I'm completely with you. Completely with you. So maybe we can chat about that at some point too. Because I am trying with the October kind of went out, or no, I'm sorry. September kind of went out the window for me. So I'm trying to kind of regroup and figure out where we're at for October. But yeah, any ideas on marketing that in general? You know, you don't know what's going to work until you do it.
Try it.
So
Exactly.
thank you for that insight, ladies. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Thank you.
No, but that was a
Uh,
wonderful question.
Yes.
To kick off what we're going to talk about next, which is it is an event that we are hosting, Collaborating Connections. We are scheduled for October 18th. It is going to be almost like a 3-in-1 type of celebration. We are celebrating our 5-year anniversary as Collaborating Connections. We are also having our official second time this year, Visitors Day for Collaborating Connections. So we are looking to meet and invite new professionals to kind of come check us out, kick the tires, see what we do, what we talk about. And we are particularly going to extend invitations to groups like the Small Business Administration's incubator that works with new businesses, helping them get established and grow, working with the Indy Chamber of Commerce. And I think that this event is going to, be good for us collaborators as well as TTR in general, because it might just feed into the Ignite class, that there are individuals that would like to be a part of that. Or, we know we meet the same time and place every week. And while someone's schedule might not fit our group of Collaborating Connections, they might choose another TTR networking group, but it's an opportunity for exposure so that they can get to know us and TTR networking and what we're about, and just expand that touch and that circle of influence. The third part of the celebration is October 18th is what did we find out? It was National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
I think Nancy found that out. Didn't she?
Yes. Thank you so much, Nancy. And I am utilizing it as the springboard, that date, as an official kickoff for a new, my cheerful chocolate spirit. And I have been hesitating in completing and pushing that forward. Although, I've got Facebook and content and have worked with Nicole Williams closely over the past several months. This is my rip off the Band-Aid and get it done. So we're going to celebrate a kickoff of a new endeavor. We're going to celebrate 5 years for Collaborating Connections, and we are going to do an official Visitors Day all in one. Nicole Williams is going to be assisting me with a promotional flyer via Canva, and our in-person meeting spot is going to be on the northwest side of Indianapolis. So I will have all of that information out to each of you. We are going to be doing a live computer broadcast for those who may join us, non-local individuals who might be interested in checking out who Collaborating Connections who we are and what we do, as well as meet in person for those folks who are local, who want to come in and have a chocolate cupcake and some light snacks and chat and talk and share themselves, their business, their interests with us, and likewise. So get ready, everybody, to share the information, to talk it up, and to really start moving some things forward. Okay, how does that sound?
Did you have, you and Dawn, no, you and Dawn, Dawn, you and Nicole are going to put a flyer together, you think?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because she and I talked a little while ago, and honestly, it was not like a planned meeting, but I'm gonna put it on here that we need to get a flyer. And that's for Tuesday, the 18th. And we're gonna put it out all over. So we need to, and Nicole almost always does it on Canva. So we can get that done and then put stuff, and then anywhere and everywhere we can send some stuff. And then probably we're gonna have to find somebody who does chocolate cupcakes, right?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, you are, okay. But you already confirmed that we're gonna be where we're gonna be. You already got that
That
reserved.
is, yes.
And I know you and I talked about this before you did it. I just want to make sure because I hadn't.
Is it a secret where it's going to be?
No,
Um,
no.
It's
What's it
not a
called?
secret. I just don't have it handy. I'm gonna,
Oh.
Gotcha.
Nexus something. You sent it to me.
yeah.
Hold on. I'm not gonna lose you. Hold on just a second. Let me go back. See if I can find. Dawn sent it to me. That's funny, Robert. Is it a
Is it a
secret?
secret? No, I was just trying to cover up the fact that I didn't recall it off the top of my head, but you called me out, doggone it.
Hold on though. I do have
Hey,
it. Okay. It's Nexus Impact Center,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
.org.
Where is that
So
at?
if you,
The
Yeah, go ahead.
northwest side, across I-465 from the pyramids, like Michigan Road and I-465 area.
okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the area. I'm just trying to. Lexus is this
Nexus.
Nexus.
And it's actually, I believe that it's a church and an office building and a multi-use meeting space all in one.
So is it by the Embassy Suites area? You
No,
It's
said
not
across
far
or
from the
north.
pyramid.
It's north. It's on,
it's
it's on
north.
the north
It's
side.
north. It's 96th Street then area.
Uh,
91st, 96th. Okay, so it's across 465
mhm.
on the other side. Other side of 465, heading toward Carmel. Gotcha.
It's not, you can see the pyramids. It's like
Oh,
right
yeah.
across.
Yeah, I see the pyramids. I know the pyramid, but it's across. It's north of 465.
Yep,
Correct.
something like that. Yep, you got it.
So yeah, so like
I mean-
92nd, 93rd, something like that.
If you go just really quickly, I'm not going to try to do it on my crazy phone, but it is nexusimpactcenter.org, I think is what Dawn sent me. I think, Dawn, does that sound right?
That is correct.
Okay, so it's if you just Nexus, NEXUS impactcenter.org, it brings it up and shows us. So there is no food there, right, Dawn? But we are bringing some food in
Yeah,
for stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna have
Okay.
some light snacks. Yes,
yeah, chocolate cupcakes for sure. And that's
absolutely.
the perfect day for Dawn then to launch her blog. Why not? Right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
You're awesome.
9511
awesome.
Angola Court, Indianapolis, Indiana 46268. I got you.
Yep, there you go. And we will get something out there. I realize that October is Saturday already. we will get something put out there. That's why I was making sure that you and Nicole are going to put something out.
Yes.
Because that, yeah. And then everybody, even if we put it out there, into next week, that's fine. But we just need to get people out there sharing it for sure. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be fun.
Yay. Before we go, and I mentioned at the top of the call, this is the end of September, and the 60-second elevator pitch is our theme for the month. I wanted us to think about, we talk about the 60-second elevator pitch and how to condense all the goodness of what we do in a captivating way to share with an individual. If we were in an elevator ride and had only brief moments to tell them what we do and interest them in how we might be able to help them with our products and services. So with that in mind, we have shared, the context of what your 60-second elevator pitch should be about. We have talked about having different versions of it available based upon what is interesting to the person that we're speaking to, the recipient of this information. And I came across an article that talked about thinking if you're trying to hone in on what your potential client or potential partner, person of interest that you're talking to, if you were trying to hone in on what is it they needed so that you could make sure that what you were speaking to them was along the lines of what they wanted to hear. What are the top 3 brief questions that you might ask that individual to kind of gauge, what is it that they want or need? What is it they're interested in? And how to capture their interest. So I know that we are running out of time or running over time here, but I wanted to leave us with that thought. What would the top 3 brief questions be that you might ask somebody so that you could tailor your 60-second elevator pitch for them? And I know there are often times that I'm talking to somebody and about travel, I may ask them, if time and money were of no issue, where would you want to go? That's something that I use to spark a conversation. I might also ask somebody, when is the last time you got away? And isn't it time? To kind of just cull that interest in them, to have them think in their mind, yeah, getting away would be good. So if anybody has anything off the top of their head that they'd like to share before we go, do you have a brief question that you utilize to garner that your potential clients need or focus that helps you tailor your elevator pitch?
How long you been thinking about it? What have you done thus far to achieve it? And how can I really help you? Just those are 3 questions right off the top. I asked someone right there.
Right.
Because instead of you trying to make them fit your mood or fit, you may need to either be very sync and direct, or to be more detailed in talking to them. Depends on where they are. So that helps you do that.
That was funny, Robert. It almost was like Dawn set you up for that. You did it. You did a great job. All of us could probably use those 3 questions. And I doubt Dawn fed those to you, right?
I did not.
But I'm just
I'll
saying.
take my 50 later.
Yeah, no kidding. But what you said could apply to everybody's, really. But obviously it does apply very well to his. And
Mhm.
Dawn, you're the first leader that I've been on the call, and I'm like, where'd she come? That's great. Those are great things, because every elevator pitch should be a little different anyway, right?
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
if you
So,
do those
but
questions
if
there, it
Yep.
allows you to, it will allow you to now tailor to that person's where they
exactly,
are, either more or less. Because sometimes with the elevator pitch, we may be trying to hit somebody and they may be like, what are you talking about? Or
Yeah.
it might be like, man, I don't need to hear all this. So now you
yeah,
can ask
exactly,
that question, and then you can now be quicker to talk to them and really hit them where they need to be.
yeah,
Because you
exactly,
ask now, you're asking them something to give you something to better understand, and also helping you to understand, is this really a potential client for me?
Mhm.
Or do I,
yes,
or do I
yeah, might not,
refer him to he or she to someone else before I waste that energy
yeah,
or waste their time?
exactly, exactly. Well, you did a great job on that. Great question, or great thought, Dawn. Great.
Absolutely. I I like
Lines
to,
off.
I know people like to be listened to as well. They don't always like to be talked at. They want to
Mm.
make sure that they have a voice, that they're heard. So there we go, giving them an opportunity to contribute to the conversation, to let us know exactly what's on their mind, and that's helping us serve them better. So,
Absolutely,
I always
absolutely,
I get stopped up because I always tell people, I said, no one likes to be talked to. No
right,
one does. I don't care who you are. I said, but if you can, but people love to talk themselves. You just got to make, some of people are quick to give it, but even the ones that reserve like to talk about themselves and talk about what their interests. And it's easy to help them talk about their interests by asking those key questions. And it's, the key point of us is mastering asking questions without
yep,
making it feel like you're playing the 20 question game.
yep,
Keeping it conversational,
yep,
asking questions conversational.
yep. Perfect,
um,
perfect. Great way to close the whole test, or 60 second. Thanks, guys.
all right. Yeah. Um, have a wonderful end of the month, everyone. A wonderful end of the week. We will be back to our regular Tuesday night next week. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. If anything comes to mind that you want to chat about before that time, just feel free to holler. We certainly know where to contact each other. And if anybody out there is interested in knowing where to contact us, look us up at Collaborating Connections on Facebook or under the TTR Networking website. There you go. Have a wonderful time. Rest of the week, everyone. Be productive. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye,
Bye.
guys. Be safe out there.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.